Welcome, Taurus. I am Wondernanda, and let it be Taurus. Let it be Tarot. Today is Christmas Day. Merry Christmas. I hope that you may experience or be experiencing the gift of gratitude and that you may feel gratitude for all that you have and for all that you have learned through your experiences. Let's open this reading with some keywords of the Ho'oponopono prayer. I love you for who you are. I'm sorry for the painful memories we may share with each other. Please forgive me if I, my relatives or ancestors, have offended you, your relatives or ancestors. I thank you for uniting my path with yours for our contributions to the healing of this earth. Let's get a general energy for this reading today. Before that, the readings I have done thus far have been drawing on the energies of the season of Sagittarius, which is officially wrapped up. But as we know, energy is fluid, and these readings are timeless. But I do keep in mind that the new moon in Sagittarius speaks about setting new goals, new targets, new intentions, the possibilities and expansion of possibilities for that. And the full moon in its opposite sign of Gemini talks about releasing some communications with people, maybe even people linked to those words and those talks and those thoughts. Okay. And Sagittarius does talk about a time where we do prepare some new intentions, and we do choose new intentions. So although we are already officially in Capricorn, a North sign, this is perhaps the beginning of setting in place the physical possibility for us to begin acting on those. Six of Cups, Three of Pentacles. Okay. So the Six of Cups is very much talked about as reminiscing the past or relationships from the past. Perhaps relationships from our childhood, or even romantic relationships from our past. Perhaps nostalgia for previous times. old friends, childhood, also joys of sharing. And the Three of Pentacles talks about, many talk about it as a collaboration on something, on a project, or something, a common goal that is being worked on. And yes, that is true. I also view it as a going back to the blueprint, like, yes, as if an architect were actually, or let's say 3 architects were working on a project together, yeah? So some type of collaboration. Now, I also see it as going back to the blueprint, making adjustments. This is something that always comes to my mind. Making adjustments towards growth, towards success, towards greater success, yeah? So maybe I had decided to set this pillar here in this corner, but perhaps as the building, the construction moves forward, I realize that setting the pillar down here in another corner will set a foundation for greater success, for a better outcome. So I think there is a reevaluating that comes to mind. And of course, movement. 3s talk about movement. So perhaps there's a moving of the energies of the heart. Perhaps there is maybe a going back to the drawing board to see how we feel about what we feel, or what we feel about certain people or memories. And since the 3 is the 3 of coins and pentacles, is in the practical sphere, perhaps there is a readjusting, maybe and a movement, right? Something, a need to stir those memories to perhaps give new form to our memories. Perhaps give new names to those old feelings that perhaps we labeled a certain way for quite some time. Maybe renaming some of our emotions and feelings and memories, emotional memories. Renaming emotional memories, emotional ideas. Yeah, we don't have the air element here yet, but that's what I'm gathering. 2 of Pentacles. Looking to be in balance. As within, so without. As above, so below. Wow, that came out in the last reading of Aries right here also. And so did the Two of Pentacles. Jeez Louise. Okay, we're looking at pain, strife, very hurtful place, a very hurt place. Ouch. You know, memories and motions of the past that hurt. Wow, that almost killed us. God damn. So I feel, you know, the picture doesn't exactly depict this, but this is how I'm seeing it, is we're taking out those needles and those swords and those picks. We are pulling them out. I feel the healing has begun because of that 6 and that 3. The healing of all that caused the pain, all that involved the pain, is being pulled out, involves pulling that out, those out. Ace of Pentacles, indeed, indeed, indeed. We have the willingness to learn. We have the willingness to take on the responsibility of taking steps. We have the willingness to learn what it takes to be accountable now for whatever happens to us. We have the readiness to become better prepared, to become better equipped, to acquire skills, so that we may not only address this pain. See how we're looking back here? And she's looking forward. So that we may not only address this pain, but get ourselves into a position into a stronger position. Learn what it is that we can do, apply, build, to be better equipped, so that whatever life does throw at us, we may be in a more balanced place. Here we have balance and balance. So that our strength within can meet whatever comes from the outside. And then we have the King of Wands here, who flew out, saying, hey, I want to say in here. And the King is, he knows the whole story of being in the thick of it. He has been in the thick of it. And he has conquered and mastered what the ace is learning. Actually, I was reading the ace like a page. I was seeing the ace like a page. The page is learning. The page is willing to learn in order to prepare for the future. And the king has achieved a level of mastery because he has gone through all the experiences and the stages of being a page, of being a knight, and sharing this mastery with the queen who compliments him. And the king of fire talks about, as you can see illustrated, talks about sparking, igniting. There is a passion to him. There is a creativity to him. There is a let's go energy to him. Let's do this. I can do this. And it is true because although I was talking about the page who is still learning, this is also the Ace of Pentacles, which tells me that this is already taking place. And then the Knight of Cups is at the bottom. This is already taking place. The acknowledging of what went down, of where we were, because obviously we are not there anymore. We are coming out of it. It's very present. We may be partly in it, but we're pulling those spiks out. We're pulling those swords out and those pins out. Needles and pins, I called her today. I saw her face. It was a face I loved. And I know I had to get away and get down on my knees and pray that they go away. Still it begins. Needles and pins. Devil in reverse. Because of all my pride. The tears I gotta hide. Oh, needles and pins. Needles and pins. Lots of cards. Eight of Pentacles, working on it. Oh yeah, I'll just take these cards. Why not? Seems appropriate they fell out. The Devil in reverse. Devil talks about being chained to what is unhealthy. It can be anything. It can be alcohol. It can be any other habit. It can be a pattern. It can be a pattern of thinking, behaving. It can be an addiction to anything, to a person. It can be, patterns we've learned long ago that no longer serve us but are really getting in the way. Thought, ways of thinking, ways of talking to ourselves. Yeah? Or maybe something that you practice or you do or you engage in that feels like heaven but just leads to hell. But it's reversed here, which tells me again that, hey, that ain't gonna work anymore. And here we have the work card. I'm totally working on this shit here, this motherfucker. And she's looking at him too. And as the page shows the way of what we need to learn, and as the ace provides that opportunity, we're taking that opportunity on. Not only taking the opportunity, but here we see progress already in naming those steps that we need to take, those things that we need to do, right? And we have the 6, right? Of course, right. One of my favorite lines from The Fiddler on the Roof. And here, the 6 of Swords. I always like to stick to the original known meaning for this card. Renowned meaning of this card, which is, you know, just getting on that boat and getting the hell away from what you need to get the hell away from. And the water is choppy. Yeah? But we do, but nevertheless, we do see the shore. And on many cards, the shore shows up, is depicted on the card, the other shore. Having my delicious lime water here. So yeah, these cards came along. 8 of Cups is also moving. Jeez, don't they want to come out, eh? The 8 of Cups is also walking away. God, I love it. Wow, the Knight of Cups at the end of the bottom of the deck too. Check it out. Check it out. Don't I sound excited? I had a wonderful Christmas day. Knight of Cups, Knight of Cups. Perhaps somebody wants to say something meaningful to someone's heart here. Okay, we'll get back to that. So yeah, usually on the usual 6 of Swords, we do see the other shore on the other side. So, you know, talking about, going back to the beginning of the reading where we talk about the new moon in Sagittarius, where we set intentions and goals. And here we're setting out to reach that other shore because there's something different that we want to do there. There's something different that we want to be there. And there's just some things that I'm going to leave behind here because you know what? Look at the other shore there on the other side. Here I am. Perhaps look how beautiful this is. Here, she makes her way to the other shore and now she gets out of the boat. She's coming out of the water, walking into the land. Ouch. Ouch. My knee. So perhaps she's getting out of the boat and walking out of the water, right? And onto that new shore, and look at the sun rising over there. Awaited by the Queen of Wands, which is meeting here with the King of Wands. So we got a superpower couple. Superpower couple here together. The Queen of Wands is the one. Oh yeah, she's the one. The Queen of Wands is the one who says, I fucking did it. I did it. And she embodies that. Let me take a look here at something. There's I don't remember which deck it was. I think it's on several decks where the Queen of Wands, she has a leopard. Some decks have a black cat. I used to have 2 black cats. The Queen, on some decks, she has a leopard with black spots on it. And some say those spots are there to remind her, or they represent why she feels powerful as she does. Because she has those reminders present. Because she knows where she's been. And she understands why she feels powerful and stronger. Because, you know, she did the work. Because she got herself, she worked on getting herself out of that place. And she's stronger because of that. And she's stronger because of that place. Not in spite of, but because of. Because that taught her about the strength, not only that she inherently has, but the strength that she gained from getting herself out of there, from the work it involved. So, and so she's confident, and she's optimistic. And she's almost, you know, I almost see her clapping to this woman here, which is herself, right? Yay, you made it. She's a fiery force. She's that fire that ignites, that spark that turns on the engines necessary for force to push forward, for her destructiveness. It's like fire, right? It can be very destructive. It can burn things down. But they have used it in the right way now, in the right direction now. Okay, now I don't know about you, but we're going to have to look into these nights before we close off. These readings were originally 19 minutes or so, 20 max, and now they're turning to 30 minutes. I think it's because of the end of the year, and I just feel called to make sure that everything that comes through is said. But I'm not sure. I don't always do predictive. I mean, I don't usually do predictive tarot, but it's inevitable sometimes. It kind of comes, it's one of the aspects of tarot, and kind of comes out. And these nights are looking at each other, and we have a night, we have a man night and a woman night. And because nights are action-taking, yeah, they're not a page who is perhaps sitting at a desk and learning, or out in the field, you know, collecting data. You know, these nights, they are action-taking. And because of this, because this is so dynamic, because they are so complementary, because they are nights, I feel this is something coming in. And because two of them came out, I think it's, you know, the reinforcing of this message is very strong. So, because I don't know the interpretation of the writer of every deck, obviously. I will read the interpretation of the creator of the Light Seers deck to see what they have to say. Chris and Anne, bear with me for just a moment. Here we go. Knight of Cups. This classic romantic invites you to step into a world of roses, bubble baths, and champagne, and is fully devoted to you for today. For today is awesome. I like that because that's very knight-like. Yeah, the king is here to stay. The knight is here, you know, for a time being. That's a very important point. And maybe for every day. Okay, that was clarified. This card heralds romance and embodies the graceful movement of a slow dance. Enjoy this flirtation and be present to connect. This knight is intuitive and totally in touch with his emotions. Isn't that nice? I like that kind of man. As such, he knows what he wants, and he has no problem wearing his heart on his sleeve. This card often signifies someone who is in love with the idea of love itself, and sometimes this comes bundled with unrealistic expectations. Are you ready to be swept off your feet and allow deep honesty and vulnerability to flow freely in your life? Do you believe in this type of true love? Get ready to take inspiration and run with it, to make art, music, and love, and a veritable masterpiece of life. Keywords: I am in touch with my emotions. Very beautiful. Very Taurus-like. Isn't that true? With that, I will leave you, my fellow, for now, leave you, my fellow Tauruses. Wishing you again a Merry Christmas, Happy end of the year, and Happy New Year of 2023. Let's close with the Serenity Prayer. God, Universe, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.